I'm not a very good fisherman. I didn't grow up on the coast. Some of you grew up on the coast and know a whole lot more about fishing than I do. I grew up in Columbus, Georgia. Now Columbus has done a beautiful job with that. They broke the dam and the water flows. When I was a kid, though, that was still water, which was sort of like the toilet bowl of Atlanta. We used to joke not to be getting the Chattahoochee for too long. You might come out with an extra finger. I mean, it was gross. But you could fish in it, and there were catfish and all kinds of other fish in the Chattahoochee. And the woman who kept me growing up while my mother worked, who I refer to all my life as my grandmother, she used to take me fishing. Now remember, I told you I'm not a very good fisherman. I'm also, especially as a child, just a very anxious presence, like getting me to sit still and to be quiet and to just focus. I mean, I just want to chatter. Now, she would bait your hook because I was like 7 or 8 and grossed out by the bait, but she would bait it for me, and she would say, just throw it out as far as you can. Now, part of that was throw it out and don't let go of the stick, please. But throw it out, and then I'd say, and then what do you do next? And she'd say, sit there. And I would sit. And I remember asking her one time, what's the secret to fishing? She was really good. I mean, with a cane pole, this old lady could just catch fish left and right. She'd catch them, she'd check them out, and she'd always put them back. It was amazing. And I said, what was the secret to fishing? And she'd say, it's simple. Show up and pay attention. Show up and pay attention. You don't have to overwork. You don't have to try too hard. And God knows, be quiet and quit jumping around. You're scaring the fish away. We hear this familiar tale from Luke's gospel. Jesus is preaching, and he sees 2 boats out doing what they did every day. These were fishermen by trade. And he goes out and he meets them, and they've been fishing all night long, and they have caught nothing. Zero. Zilch. Now, they weren't little 7-year-old nervous energy kids like me who jumped around too much. They knew what they were doing, and they still caught nothing. And Jesus tells them, throw your nets over here. They reel in their nets all these fish and are just amazed that he somehow knew how to do their job better than they did. I know that we live in a time, and it's been most of my life in different expressions, that Christians too often like to be loud and claim that everything's being oppressed against us and we want to be a Christian this and a Christian that. And I wonder sometimes if some of that noise is like the 7-year-old me who couldn't just sit still and was jumping around. And maybe God wants to tell all of us Christians, shh, you're being so loud, you're scaring all the fish away. Be quiet about yourselves for a minute. Show up. Pay attention. Be patient.